go ahead. I think, Frank, you approve of it, so to say mod approved.
All right, I believe we are live.
All right. We are live. I think, Frank, you approve of it, so to say mod approved.
Yeah. All right, so what's going on, everyone? This is Jay here from Texas Cloud Town, back again with a Weekend Wisdom Vape Vlog number 7. And I got my fellow friends down there, fellow stooges, Mr. Frank Wolf and Mr. Poon Sauce McNasty.
Who's that?
Porn Stash McPowerbottom.
There we go. Porn Stash McPowerbottom. I don't know. I think Swaggins might need to change his name to Power Bottom now.
I'm the man of many names. Let's just put it that way. There was a time where my name used to get changed in the Discord like every day, just to something different. And I was like, whatever, let it happen. Type shit.
All right. So first, we're gonna start off with what we're vaping on. Frank, if you want to go ahead and take it off.
All right. So basically, my most precious possession of all, Dollarime, woohoo, and an Axial RDA on top of it. Dude, honestly, I just love my Dollarime because it's one of the best kind of like gifts or pre-gifts. You know what I mean? Like my birthday is coming up in April, so one of the best gifts ever that I could receive. And in that, I have Killer Custard, actually. Woohoo! I like those stuff. And next setup, I have Mr. Unicorn Mods. Woohoo! And with the Unicorn RDA, it's been patining, you know.
Oh, it looks nice.
I know, right? And with some, you can get this on clownvapes.com for all your vaping needs. Mm-hmm. It's mint me. I'm actually enjoying it, to be honest. Thoroughly enjoying it. And yeah, last, definitely not the least, the patinaed Vindicator with an OG gun, and of course, Illusions Nirvana for you. So basically, that's all that I'm vaping on. So yeah, what's up, Mr. Poon Sauce?
Is that me? Is that we're up? I'm up. I got a lot of new stuff to show you guys. I'm sticking to the 3 setups I got at MVE because I spent a lot of money, okay?
Yeah.
I might have spent a decent amount of money at MVE, and I am perfectly okay with it. First one I got is my Evil Twin stack with the Unholy V2. Serial number 000.
Damn.
For that, the stack and the RDA.
How much shit have you gotten for having that one?
By Deathwish Mods. Let's be honest. When do you not see me running a stack? So I haven't really got as much as I thought I would, but whatever.
Very true.
And in there, I got some transistors, lemon sugar drop.
Nice.
And then next one, which has been one of my most beautiful setups I've ever had, is my new Lazy Vapors single 21700 DNA 75C.
Ooh.
With the Alliance Tech Evo on top, 24. In there, I got some Hometown Heroes apple cream custard. Delicious stuff. And then finally, my most prized possession, the brand new Aspen Modco Monarch.
Damn.
His name is Tormund with the recoil rebel on top with the DHD matchy drip tip on top there. All freaking beautiful and just my new prized possession. And there I got the little last bit of my Beautiful Zester by Transistor.
Nice.
And I'm not using this right now, but I have it in there. My Zero with some Dull Dime Clove 12 milligram in there.
Hell yeah.
And that's all for me. What do you got, Texas?
All right. So I got the Recoil Rebel, which I just got on top of the Purge truck knurled.
Nice.
And inside of that, I got some Dew Time lemon bar. Really cheap juice. I picked it up for, I think, they were on sale because they were redoing their bottles or something like that. It was on sale for $1 something. So I picked up a lot of that.
Yeah.
Up next, I got the Revenant Cartel with the Axial RDA on there.
Oh yeah.
Really loving this. I've been wanting a Revenant for a long time, and I finally just said, okay, I'm going to get it. Inside of that, I got Lindbergh. It's Pan Am. It's a peanut butter banana tobacco flavor. Really good.
I think I've had something from Lindbergh before. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
I know, they gave really unique flavors. I gotta give them that.
Yeah.
The flavors are like, they're not ordinary. Like, okay, this is a strawberry cream. No, this is not a mango, whatever it is. They have very unique flavors, which I give them props for.
Yeah, I was like, oh, banana peanut butter, that's really good. And then it's like, oh, wait, with tobacco, I was like, oh, that might be interesting.
Yeah.
And then next, I got the Kennedy 21 with the dead goat on top, fitting real nice, looking really
The
good.
dead goat impressed the hell out of me.
Dude, it's amazing. Inside that, I got the ripe.
Yeah, because I got mine in
peach
my
mango
white jammer.
pineapple. Yeah, whenever I got it, I was like, man, I don't know if it's going to be all that great. And I heard everyone talking about it.
I like it more than Dead Rabbit. I honestly do. I
Really?
like it more. The airflow is some of the smoothest airflow I've ever had. I run that thing wide open. Some of the smoothest airflow I've ever had on an RDA in my life. And what that thing does compared to the dead rabbit, which doesn't do, you know how you can remove the deck and everything?
Yep.
You can actually take off the deck and make sure your leaves are cut evenly by just taking it off and just snip, 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 and you're done. Yeah. It's actually, to me, it's actually easier than building the dead rabbit.
Yeah. That's awesome. How I built mine. I took it off. I put them in there. Or I put them in there, screwed them down. I took it off, and then I just cut the leads and then put it back in there. And it was super simple, easy.
Well, because when I was building mine, I was realizing, okay, I was trying to get underneath the deck and try to cut it, but then my tweezers, my cutters are a little bit like beefier with the Tofa ones. So I was like, wait a minute, I can unscrew this thing. So I unscrewed it, snip, snip, and it was like, why the hell didn't I do this when I first started that? Holy crap. Makes it so much easier.
And inside that, I got some clown coils.
Oh,
ooh.
Banging, man. Loving them.
I think I have clown coils. I have clown coils in my Death Wish.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with those coils. They're really good.
These coils are dope.
They are. Because I have it on my Axial, dude. It's been running really, really good.
I'm not too sure if I have that on
this
my
is just
Axial or not.
18650, but this thing just
rowdy.
Evil. It's the reason why they call it the evil twin.
And then after that, I got the Orion Q from Lost Vape, just hanging that around. Peanut butter custard.
What do you think of the Orion Q? Did you have the original Orion or no?
No, I only got the Q because I'm really cheap.
Because what apparently I found out that I was watching Grimm's vlog and he was saying how the original Orion pods don't work with the Orion Q pods.
That's what I've heard, and I've not tried it yet because I don't want to spend $10 on pods.
Yeah, you don't want to buy pods and have them not work. There's no point to it.
Okay, the 0.05 or the 0.5 coils, the 0.5 pods rather on the Orion Q or the original Orion actually work, but you cannot use the 0.25s. So the best you can do is if you want like a really, really like kind of like a really loose direct long, or not direct long, really loose mouth to long or slash tight direct long, I would actually go with the 1 ohm coil on that, to be honest, because it's been working great on mine. So, just my opinion. Yeah.
All right, and if y'all didn't see inside, they got the peanut butter custard.
Hell yeah.
Vape shops, Freedom Vapor over there in Texas.
There you go.
But yeah, so I mean that's all what we're vaping on. So we were going to move into some advocacy topics.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
Oh yeah, there's honestly I printed out a bunch at work the other day, and then now I'm like y'all. When I got on here with y'all had 2 more for me, and it's just like overwhelming how much stuff there is on a day-to-day basis. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Vape News Magazine for always putting those out there for us. I mean, they always have stuff up to date. They're doing it daily.
Angela is one of my favorite people in existence, so she's always on top of it when it comes to the news. I mean, the Omies, she's the one. VapeNews.com is where I get most of my advocacy stuff, which is okay. Yeah. So it's where I get my stuff.
Man, they're always updating it, and that's what I really like. It's not something that gets updated once a week; it's getting updated daily, guys. So
there's always daily articles going on there. Yeah, it's great.
But the first one I wanted to really talk about was the Ohio Governor DeWine stumps for Tobacco 21. So pretty much in here, what they're talking about is he is going to try to make it, or he's pretty much going against Tobacco 21. He doesn't want Ohio to have to deal with Tobacco 21. And mainly just because he's looking for a healthier alternative for the people out there. He doesn't want someone at 18 getting addicted to cigarettes and tobaccos and stuff like that. And then once they get addicted to them, it's hard to put down. All the vapors out there, I mean, there's a bunch of people even who still do vape have a hard time with people who are around with cigarettes and stuff like that. So, I mean, this is just something that I really like to see. That's something I really wish Texas would do, but don't see that happening.
No.
And I mean, it's just something that I really like that we actually have a governor standing up for what he believes in and what he feels. Because I mean, you don't really see that most times.
Because if you see the news right now, and he's saying this, that he dismissed customary, like, for the children. You know what I mean? Like he just like dump it into trash entirely, because based on the hopes that he wants to reduce this financial burdens on all Ohio smokers, and as well as the state's Medicaid and other public health infrastructures. Dude, that's a really good thing that he's taking that in mind. He's really taking in mind that this is a healthier alternative. So why would I not allow, like, people who are like 18, 19, or 20 years old to have this life extending device? He helps promote this thing in a manner that he pointed out that underage smokers usually start before age of 18. So therefore they're accustomed to like buying like nicotine products in an elite manner. But here you are actually saying that this is a healthier alternative and that you believe in it. Dude, it's a big thing that one of the governors actually believe in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's crazy because, I mean, like you said, or like I said, and you said, you rarely see that. And it's just, I don't know, I guess it's just, I want to say weird, but it's just crazy how the U.S. government is not wanting to get proper information out there, because they want to give out the information that they've done studies on and everything, and they've had scientists do studies on, where they've done stuff where they burn an RDA or a tank when it has no juice in it. I mean, of course you're going to have side effects from that. You're burning cotton and it could catch fire and stuff like that. But I mean, there's just dumb stuff out there that they're trying to spread instead of the actual facts of it is 95% healthy for you and 2 times more effective. You'll see maybe 1 or 2 articles that'll say that, but then you'll see all these other articles out there about, how it's getting children and teens, because they're making it seem like children like 5, 6 years old are getting addicted to it by the way that they're expressing it.
Like the age of 9, 10, like people buying smokes in like convenience stores, and then like age 10, 11, 12. You know what I mean? Like, it seems that usually at times like this, they're trying to make it seem that not high schoolers, but mainly like those who are mainly in their formative years. You know what I mean? Like, in those years, like, people actually try to format in everyone's minds that this is actually for them, whereas this is actually working for those who are trying to quit smoking, and this is for the 18 and above. And here you are thinking that people don't believe in this. And there's just this one governor that actually stands out, and contrary to like public belief, actually believes in vaping. So that's really a good thing to notice and to give props about. It's because lots of the times you get a lot of politicians get shit on vaping, but this one, we just give props to like Dan Tierney for like putting this out there, or DeWine rather, which is Dan Tierney's the spokesperson. So you know what I mean.
Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me good? My internet just, like, when everybody was talking, my internet just took a shit. So I'm on Wi-Fi right now because
internet issue.
Yeah, AT&T sucks. Let me just put it that. Okay, so the Ohio thing, which is it's crazy because I remember back in last year when Ohio did the Midwest Vapor Expo in Cleveland.
Yep.
It kind of took a toll on the show because it was a 21 and older show. Which I wish the governor would have came back and be like, okay, he's kind of putting the stomp on the Tobacco 21 thing back then, because it would have made that show an awesome show. I mean, the amount of vendors that were there was awesome. The amount of the venue was great. Cleveland put on the Cleveland Expo Center was a great Expo Center. It was huge, like massive. Like we took like a big, like small little corner of the damn Expo Center. It was still a huge show. So knowing that, it's a good thing that he's actually looking to put like Tobacco 21 on like the back burner and not want to do it.
Yep.
Just makes me think that it would have made that expo back last year that much better, because if it would have been 18 or older, so many more people would be able to attend it. I'm wondering, because I'm going to be at Midwest Vapor Expo in Ohio next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Next weekend, yep, in Toledo. So I'm curious if that's going to be 18 or older, or if that's going to be 21 or older too. So let's see how that turns out, because I'm excited. This is like my third expo in like a month, so I've been freaking going expo crazy this past.
Oh yeah.
I love seeing new people. I love going to shows. I love the industry is what I'm coming to.
Yeah.
And I just love seeing new people, and it's just great.
Yeah, haven't been to one. I'm going to the Houston one, the showcase, so I'm ready for that. I know a couple of Stooges are going to be going there.
Houston.
I'll be there too, yeah.
Speaking of some Stooges.
I got to get the time off work for that. I'm probably going to be requesting it the next week or two off work.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of Stooges, we got Frames Janklin in the chat right now. Shout out to him.
Oh, geez. They're both here. I saw James and Swaggins here. I'm like, oh,
yeah, we saw Swaggins, and then we got Tenacious TX Vapes.
What? Stan's in here too? No wonder things starting to smell weird.
Oh yeah.
He's sick. He hasn't showered in like a month. It's just a bad time. It's just a bad time for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were in the bathtub, so he can't took a bath, man.
No, I was actually in a blow-up mattress, and that thing was comfy as shit, surprisingly.
Oh, yeah. And then what was the next one we were going to talk about? What was the one you were talking about, Corey?
Oh, yeah. So the FDA has come out with a new kind of regulation on what. Here, let me get it back up really quick. Hold, please. My terrible elevator music. Don't mind me. Hold on. Let's see. So, where is it?
Corey,
where is it?
Corey Poon.
Shut up. Making me. Okay. So the FDA has come out with their updated guidance for vape shops. Which Texas Cloud Town, you still have the link, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
If you want to post it in the chat so everybody can take a look at it, it's a nice little thing that I think because I know we have a lot of stooges and a lot of viewers who work in vape shops and all that stuff. So they pretty much went out and said what is allowed in vape shops and what's not allowed. So I'm going to go off a little list from Mr. Rod Cochran, Rodman from Vape Radio himself, posted on his Facebook of what is allowed and what's not allowed in vape shops. So first thing is what's allowed. Number one is you're able to change coils as long as they're the same ohm and wattage as what's originally in the package. So let's say you're buying a kit and you're brand new to vaping and you go into a shop saying, because you're still probably like a week into it or something, and you want to know how to change your coil.
Yep.
So the people that work at the shop are able to go take your tank and actually change the coil that was in there, because most kits and everything come with a second coil with it when they have you give with the tank. So they're able to change the coil and install it for you, all that fun stuff. And they're able to assemble device. Next one is they're able to assemble a device if it comes in the same box. So pretty much say, like I was saying before, if you get a kit where it comes with a mod and a tank, the person that works at the shop is able to assemble it for you and get it ready for you and show you the in and out and everything with it. Next thing is the person that shop able to troubleshoot and clean said so mod, which I'm curious with that third one if that means mech mods as well, because people that buy mech mods should know that you have to clean your threads, clean your contacts and all that stuff. But So I'm hoping that the people that are using mech mods are actually knowledgeable, that they know how to do that themselves. Because if you're using a mech mod, you should have all that knowledge already in your head. So don't use a mech mod if you don't know how to clean contacts, no Ohm's law, all that stuff. And next thing is the person at the shop is able to explain how to charge batteries and explain how to fill tanks, which I don't understand why that was never a thing in the past. I mean, what I'm curious about too is with explaining how to charge batteries. I'm hoping that involves explaining what batteries go into what kind of device as well. Because like that just comes into a thing of you should know Ohm's law and everything too.
Yep.
So you should know what batteries you're putting in any kind of device you're using. So that should automatically be a thing that's already people should already know before you're actually using said device. And what they put down that is not allowed is you're not able to build and install a custom non-manufactured coil. So what to me that says is, I don't know if that means like if you have, because I would say like if you have a coil builder and he's in your shop as a sellable product, that it's a manufactured coil, I would say.
Yeah.
What to me that means is like if you have somebody sit at the shop that's just hanging out and building coils, that the person that works at that shop is not allowed to install said coils into an atomizer. That's what I think about it. That's what I take out of that, which makes sense, in my opinion. Well, because it's like if it's not sold at the shop, it's like I don't know. It's since it's not sold at the shop, that the person working behind the counter shouldn't be responsible for installing that coil.
Yeah.
You would either be the person not working at the shop that's actually making the coil themselves to install it, or if the person that's coming in and wanting coils in their atomizer, then they should be able to install it themselves. And finally is repairing and modifying ends products, which pretty much means you buy a device and the person behind the counter is not able to modify anything with it, like anything that was not originally in the package originally, which is very interesting because I don't really think that happens that often, to be honest. So which is kind of, I don't know who would go into a shop and have the person working at the shop that would ask them to modify the device they have. Like, I don't understand what they would do to modify it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a strange thing that people that not people, but like the FDA will put this kind of like the modification thing as an aside. Like, I mean, I know in their point of view, this because you need to look at it this way. You're looking at your vaping journey as okay, you got them started into vaping, all right, and then they're going to turn out like an immediate user where they're trying to get into rebuildables and they're trying to get into like the RDA stuff, which is like I mean, I'm not saying that it's the better stuff than stock coils per se, but I know some people would like RDAs more than sub-ohm techs, especially for the hobbyists. But per se, the knowledge that you have in rebuildables, it's like they're knocking they're knocking on the doors and saying, dude, you cannot kind of like share this knowledge to everyone. It's like, dude, per se, you're trying to knock up like the hobbyist vapors into the vape shop, which is kind of like it has like a good and a bad light into this. The good light is you're already a rebuildable atomizer user, so you should be able to know, let's say for example, what coils you put into like an RDA or like what kind of like format or not format, but what gauges of wires you use for it. But on the other side, if you're just learning of rebuildables, it's going to be a little bit tricky for you because usually you get your primary education in the vape shop. I mean, there's YouTube, there's vape radio, there's podcasts, things like that. But you primarily get people into vaping in the vape shop. And that being said, it's like a little bit tricky around the edges where they work their words into the regulations. So I wonder how they would actually try to enforce it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these things is usually on the gray areas. And I don't know, usually like FDA likes just like playing into like gray areas per se of this kinds, especially in
Well, the
the
thing with the
regulation.
FDA is the FDA doesn't know all the kind of different products that are out there, to be honest.
That
So
one too.
they're going by is they know that sub-ohm tanks exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a main thing, or if like a pod exists, they're going by sub-ohm tanks and pods. They're really not. To me, the FDA's knowledge of rebuildables isn't there. So they're just going by of what is known in the market of being the most popular and what's going to be used by the masses is what I'm thinking of. Because to be honest, more people are going to be using solo tanks than RDAs. That's just
True.
how it is. Because I would say 65% of the people that are vaping in this country are not hobbyists like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are doing it to get, for their main reason is to get off tobacco products and get on a healthier alternative.
Mm.
So,
Which is per se, that's why like a lot of people that you see in the vape shop are going to be a little bit more of the pod users or the sub-ohm tank users,
Yeah.
which is
yeah.
really good. But my only thing is, if let's say, for example, I come into a vape shop and let's say I'm trying to like get into rebuildables, you know what I mean? Like, it's a good thing that they're trying to. I mean, some regulations would be good, but on this line, it's sometimes one, it's on your end that on how you handle things, specifically like rebuildables. Because if let's say, for example, for me, my vaping journey started, and when my vaping journey started into rebuildables, somebody in the vape shop taught me how to like build coils or like install coils on an RDA, per se. But
Mhm.
there are other people that would actually be searching on YouTube and searching how to install coils and get
Mhm.
it to learn there, which is good. My only thing is you see per se that vape shops are the main factors of this industry, and they're the ones who are not the front people, but they're I would say they're the face of the community, because that's how the
Yeah,
main
they have to be.
interaction. Yeah, like per se, they're the main interaction of the customers to the community. They're the bridge of the community to pretty much all of between the hobbyists and the starter intermediate users. That's where you could see how they service you, or how they not just promote vaping, but how they actually walk and talk about vaping, you know and that
You got to think about this too. That people working at shops are the people on the front lines that are getting those people who do not vape and smoke to make the switch.
Yep.
They're the person that they're having the interaction with. They're the ones that are, if their attitude and their way of doing things is going to be the reason why that customer is going to make the switch between getting off cigarettes or whatever kind of tobacco product they're using to vaping.
Yeah, and like honestly, with my channel, I kind of started it to get the newer people more into it. I guess you could say not really to be hobbyists, but I started because whenever I've started back vaping, it was, I don't want to say difficult, because whenever I stopped vaping for the first time, I was doing like I had rebuildables like crazy, and that's all I was doing. And then when I come back, I see that Smock's making a million different products, and whenever I got back into it, it was kind of like it's not scary, but you don't want to buy the wrong product, especially if you're like me. I've already vaped, so I know it works. I know it's going to help me. I know it's going to help me stop whatever I'm doing.
Yeah, just
But
trying to be a sure buyer kind of thing, you know what I mean?
yeah. But then there's people out there who they don't know what's out there. They know that okay, you could buy a million different pod systems, and there's RDAs, RTAs, there's sub-ohm tanks, but they don't know the difference. And that's kind of something that hopefully this year I'm going to be doing more sub-ohm tanks and stuff, because that's what I really want to do. Is I really want to appeal to the new vapor to kind of help them out, because I mean it is really scary when you start vaping for the first time, because you don't want to go out there and buy a G Priv or something like that and then be like, oh man, well I don't know how to work it, and then it's a touch screen, you didn't know that, or you don't want to go out there and buy a tube mod or anything like that. So I want to try. That's what I'm hopefully going to be doing more of this year. Is I'm going to be putting more time into the lower end stuff to kind of help out the new vapors, because I mean it is really scary coming in, especially whenever you have stuff like vape shops to where they can't really help you. I know a lot of vape shops will help you if you ask them, but like you get to some of those shops where they've had people come in from the FDA before and kind of check them. They get to the point to where they're like, okay, yeah, you know what, I don't really want to mess with it, because this could pretty much like shut down our whole process or give us a ticket and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's one reason why I really started my channel, just to do that. But I mean it's sad that you can't even go into you couldn't go into a vape shop to get help. Because whenever I started vaping again, I think me and Frank talked about this last time, like you couldn't even try juices. The last thing I remember is you could sell back an old mod. Like I used to be able to walk into my old vape shop and say, hey, I don't want this mod no more. Do you want to buy it from me and sell it as a used? They'd be like, yeah, sure. And then they just sell it with a new tank or whatever they wanted.
Yep.
And then now you can't, and then you can try juices and everything. Now I go in there and they don't have any juices on display. And they're like, okay, yeah, you can't try juices. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you can't do that. And then you can't do this. We can't buy your mods. We can't do that. I'm like, man, the rules are just crazy how fast they moved and how much have been put in place and how many more are coming to be put in place.
Yeah, it's real crazy that some vape shops would not allow you to like not taste the juice, but like, you know, not be able to like hold it and then not just knuckle test it, but like actually vape on it. Because I mean, per se, Vape still has done it on this format. Vaping with the Omens has done it on this format. Culture of Clouds has done this on this format. And then us in the Wolfbite podcast has done this on this format. And then in the first, if you see like or hear the first 5 minutes of every show, it's usually like what we're vaping on, right? And per se, it's not really that we're bragging on like what devices we have or what coils we have or what RDAs we have, but it's mainly that we want to also showcase flavors that we like. So let's say, for example, when you're doing a live show, you're wanting to, let's say, hey, I'm vaping on, let's say, a transistor, you know, Tango Melon, or I'm vaping on Killer Custard. It's not mainly because that it's not only rather that you like it, but it's also because that you're bragging that flavors got you out of cigarettes. And it's a major contribution on you and your vaping journey, and as well as how you vape. So practically, like most of the time that we're actually saying or telling people what we're vaping on, it's actually telling people to, you know, I like this flavor, so maybe you need to try this. And in this case is that we are telling people or testifying to people that it works. One of the key things is California right now is actually, you know, having some hearings for flavor bans, you know, vape regulations. And one of the biggest things out there is, if you don't know, Cara Tibbetts, which is like a vape model slash like our honorary like vape radio, you know, personality, is actually testifying that she got off cigarettes and she quit smoking by vaping 5 years ago because of the flavors. And dude, like that's a really big thing, because most of the time people don't realize this, but dude, I like my pineapple, you know, tropical fruits. I like my blueberries and cream. I like my mint chocolate chip cookie flavor. And it's a huge part of us not just quitting off smoking, but actually it drives us to actually vape even more. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
It's
and
a
isn't
really
Hawaii
big
going through the
thing.
same thing too?
What's that?
Isn't Hawaii going through the same thing too with the flavor bans and everything going on over there?
Hawaii is going through this thing, and then Texas is also implementing a tobacco 21, which
Yeah.
is really crazy because Texas lawmakers is aiming to make state tobacco 21. So first, Tyler, Texas already implemented it, and
Yeah.
now it's trying to adopt like the whole 21 or smoking or tobacco 21 thing. And perhaps it's like astounding implicit or illicit status of an activity, but like who people don't realize this, and people don't realize like fighting for tobacco 21 is like, man, you're just skipping like 3 years. Like, dude, those 3 years are important to people because one, you get them out of cigarettes when they're 18. That's great.
Mhm.
Two, you're not delaying 3 more years of them obtaining a life extending device. And three, when you're not doing tobacco 21, there's a lot more freedom in terms of what those 18, 19, 20 years old could try. And it I'm not saying that I'm always like, an advocate for, let's say, a tobacco 21, and I'm not I'm not saying that people need to be also an advocate for it, but dude, you need to see it on another note where people are actually pushing this fight of tobacco 21 where it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, and I mean, if they were pushing like all these laws for good reasons and stuff, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure almost all of the vape community would be fine with it. But when they're pushing them for stupid reasons like putting a tax on vaping, and we're going to use that money to educate teens and students about the what they say about vaping and tobacco harm, and how vaping and tobacco is harmful for you. Of course, no vapor is going to want to pay for that extra taxes on that. I mean, and why would we want to pay for taxes on something where they're going to talk bad about it, and it's something that's 95% healthier for you and 2 times more effective? Like we had one in Texas not that long ago. I've talked about plenty of times
Yep.
where they had the Arlington Police Department. They had no one else to tax, so they said, okay, we're going to tax the vapor community by, I don't know, a couple cents per mil or something like that. And it was for a good cause. They were doing it because a special needs kid got actually shot because the police department didn't know how to handle it. Or it was either Dallas or Arlington. I'm not exactly too sure which one it was, but I think it was Dallas.
Dallas,
But
most likely.
yeah, and they did it so that way they could get better training on it. And yeah, that's something that me and Garrity's talked about. That yeah, something like that we're perfectly fine with. I'll pay the extra taxes for it. I mean, it's not a whole lot of money, but I'll pay the extra taxes on that. But when you're starting to get to like 95% tax rates going up and everything like that on vaping products, and then it's for dumb reasons, of course no one's going to be agreeing with that besides the lawmakers and the parents who have no clue what they're talking about and have not researched anything.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
and
just crazy.
let's do the math. Like, let's say, for example, it costs you right now around not just 18 mil, or let's say it's 18 mil, like $18 per 60 mil bottle, right?
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, I know might be pretty high for our US vapors, but let's say it's like 18 mil. And then if it gets like 95% tax, like what? It would be around 35 per
Yeah.
60 mil.
Hmm.
Dude, imagine like the cost of not just you buying a new juice, but just imagine like what would happen to like the vape devices. So a $100 mod would become what? Like 150 or even so, like a lot more expensive. Dude, it doesn't make sense at all that people are actually pushing this for not just personal reasons, but for money making reasons.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, look at Orion. It's like this. I got it online for like say $20. You're gonna spend 40. They're gonna have to make it $40 now because they bought it for 20, and then they're gonna have to put the 95% tax rate. So we'll say $20 or $40 for one now.
Yeah.
Plus, the shop's not gonna make no money off of that because they're usually gonna be selling these for around 40. because they like to up the price so that way they can make money. So now they're going to sell one of these for like $60 for an Orion Q or even more, just that way they can make an extra $20 off of a product like that, which is it's just crazy how they're going to have to be spending, or they're pretty much going to be tearing down a lot of brick and mortars is what's going to be going on. And that's why, honestly, like I buy almost all my stuff offline, but I try to support my store as much as possible. I give them shout outs all the time. I go in there. They get pretty busy. It's just a little town store, but I mean, I go in there. I try to help them as much as I can. Like I'll go behind the counter and say, hey man, well, what are you looking for? Okay. And I'll just give them my experience off of juices and try to lead them in the right way. And I try to make it easier on them because a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, I don't know. I don't really like, say they don't like dew time. Oh, I don't like lemon bar, but I like a lemon pie or something. I bet, oh, okay, well, the shop can make a custom juice for you right here. And there's a lot of times where I actually help the shop out because I want to go in there and I want to try to keep a brick and mortar store, especially a store that's helped me so much and it gave me so much information. I want to help them as much as possible and try to keep them alive as much as possible with all these new rules and regulations coming in.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of advocacy, because I know we talked about this on the stage voice chat, and we want to also know the perspective of this for not just the viewers but also the chat, although they're the same thing. But so first, my question is, in the current scene of advocacy, do you think that it should be driven by the community or the companies? Because that's really like a good question to dive down in. It's would you rather have advocacy pushed by the community itself or by the companies that earn money from it?
You have to have that healthy medium between both because the companies should be advocating as well, because without them advocating, who knows, within the next year or two, they could be out of business. And second of all, the consumers should be advocating as well, because if we don't do something, that this industry will not be around within the next year. And all the stuff that we've put all of our money and all of our hard work into actually getting people off smoking into will be gone. So it's pretty much like all the effort you've done is for nothing. So everybody should be advocating, like how Sean Typhon just put in there. Advocacy is something we should do, but we need people that are activists in this industry. And activism is something that this industry is 100% needed. We need this to happen. We need people to have a positive output, that show a positive output on what needs to happen with this industry. We need these big companies to spend some of their money not on vape models, not on merchandising on Instagram and all that stuff, put into the industry. That we need to go to government officials and saying, this is a life-saving product that we need. This industry needs to stay around so we can save millions of lives.
Yeah.
Because it's already proven that this industry is a life-saving industry. You can't deny that at all.
And per se, the question is derived from, if we are usually, and this is just like an idealism kind of thing where you wanted to think of it like a perfect world kind of thing where everything would be legal, and not everything would be legal, but like vaping would be legal to like every country, and there would be an FDA opponent would be like a villain per se. Dude, the thing is, in a perfect world, you would want companies to like drive this industry because they're the ones earning the money into it. But per se, you're looking at not just people who are in the companies, but you're also looking as them as part of the community. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just a trade-off that you should be able to bear with. It's more of like the companies also do their part, and then you, as part of the community, do their part. Hell, come on. How do you think an airplane flies? You know, like, do you think an airplane flies with only just one wing per se? Dude, like, in this lifetime that we have and the short time that we have, we must be, first of all, one, talking to our representatives, as Typhon actually put into it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it's also not just talking to your representatives, but I know Sean Typhon works for a vape shop, and there's like Keith Ma, Daily Vape TV, who also works in the vape shop. But not just that, it's also the front line, which is the vape shops talking to advocacy. Because what would money be without you advocating for it? You've already earned money to it, so might as well do your part into actually working it out and actually helping vaping survive. Like sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and like Sean said, make sure we're calling our representatives and stuff like that. Make sure we're picking up the phone because, I mean, like I can get on here and I could honestly be saying all this and not be doing anything. But the thing is I don't. I actually go out there and I try to talk to as many people as possible. And I've also, like you said, the vape shops, Wolfbite or Frank, how you were talking about it, how the vape shops, they need to be being advocates too. And the thing is if you're a vape shop, I'm pretty sure Sean does this daily because how much he's into advocacy and how big he is a part of it. But I mean, how many people do you have come in daily? Even like my small little vape shop, I guarantee you there's at least 150 to 100 people every day. And a lot of them are regulars, yeah. But then you get a lot of new people in there also.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all you got to do is you got to spread the word. It takes, 2 seconds to ask them if they want to talk about something. And if they don't, okay, fine. But still just bring it up. Just talk about it. Because, I mean, if you're in there, like, oh, how long have you vaped? Oh, okay, well, yeah, a year. Okay, well, I mean, how much has it helped you? Oh, okay, well, do you know that there's all these laws going on right now to where it could possibly ban vaping completely or it could ban flavors? This flavor I'm making for you right now might not be available. Or if you're 19 years old, I can't sell this to you by September 1st in Texas when they're going to be passing this law if nothing's done about it. I mean, there's so much that we can do. And I mean, like Grim Green always says, there's representatives on Twitter, which isn't the best platform, honestly, to be communicating with them. But sometimes they will communicate back. So, I mean, you can write a response, but make sure we're being adults about it. Make sure you're having showing yourself the right way. Don't go in there, start cussing them, say F the FDA and all this other stuff. Make sure you're actually being a responsible adult and be respectful because they are human beings. They do have their beliefs. We have our beliefs, but we need to show them why our beliefs are something that need to stick around. We believe that vaping has helped us so much. And it's not just that we believe it, it's proven, but we need to show them and we need to let everyone know why vaping has helped us so much and how it's helped us so much and how it's helped people sleep. I mean, I know a bunch of people when they used to smoke cigarettes, they wake up every hour to go smoke a cigarette because they couldn't sleep. Mm-hmm. I got like one of my bosses is like that. I mean, he smokes 2-3 packs a day. And I mean, I talk to him daily. He's like, oh yeah, one of those will kill you one day. I'm like, well, I mean, it's not going to kill you as fast as a cigarette is because it's 95% healthier for you and it's 2 times more effective than anything else you'll try out there to try to get off of smoking. And I mean, I even the people that are stubborn, I still try to talk to them about it. I try to keep pushing it on them. But you can't change people. People have to want to change. But I just want to be able to put that into their ear and be able to let them know that there is a really good alternative out there for them, something that will actually help them and help save their lives. And I mean, it's not going to reverse the effects that cigarettes have put on you, but it's going to put them to a stop. It's going to stop them and it's going to start helping you to where you're not adding more effects onto you by smoking cigarettes and everything. And that's one thing I want to talk about was what Sean was just put in there. Is making sure that we are writing our representatives, make sure we are calling them. I mean, call your city, your town, your county, your state, the whole United States government, whoever you got to call, make sure you're calling and writing people. Because, I mean, if you send them an email, yeah, you might get a response from them, but it's going to take a whole lot longer and you might just get a generic response. like what most people would give out. So, I mean, the best thing to do is to handwrite a letter or print out a letter that you typed up and send it to them. If you have bad handwriting like me, I honestly would not write them a letter. They would not be able to read it. I write my letters that I write are smaller than a macro coil. So, I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many ways out there that we can communicate. We just need to make sure that we're actually doing it properly and going to like the town hall meetings or your city hall meetings or your county meetings. I mean, I've talked to my local mayor, and hopefully I'm gonna have an interview with him real soon because he's actually a vapor. And
Yeah.
a lot of people are like, "Oh, wait, you have a mayor that vapes?" Yeah, he's in our vape shop all the time. He's really cool. But the thing is he told me that he's a huge advocate also. So that's one
Well,
reason why I wanted to bring him on here one day because, I mean, he said anytime I hear about something that you don't hear about, I'm going to give you a call. Like if there's a town hall meeting or if there's a county meeting or a state meeting, something about vaping, he's there. He's going to call me. He's going to give me the info so that way I could try to make it to it if he can't. Or if I hear about it first, I'm going to give him a call because, I mean, there's so much out there, so much information that we need to spread, and it happens so fast that you're going to need more than one person to help you on this. I can't do it all by myself. Frank can't do it all by himself. Sean, Frames, no one can do it all by themselves. We need a whole community of people to be able to help us with this and to be able to fight these laws and fight for our rights to vape and everything.
Speaking of chat, like Erica Vapes said that don't forget advocate outside of the vape community.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the vape community that care already know. Here's the thing about it. There's just like two ways I think of it. One is you're already preaching to a certain choir, right? And they already know about this. The only thing is they're not making any moves about it. You know what I mean? Like one of the ways that we talked about advocacy on almost every show that you interact with is advocacy. The main reason is how many of those people in the quote unquote choir actually sing. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people don't sing until the last chorus of the song. So that's why a lot of people would be able to know about this, and this is just not head knowledge that we're teaching. It's also an kind of like an action application point is we are doing shows because we want to spread this not just to the people who know about it and that can't do work. It's also about people who actually could be motivated and do advocacy. And the other way is we should also go outside there and teach other people about vaping and the health benefits of vaping. So, two things that you could do actually for those who don't know much about vaping. One is share your own story because no one can refute your personal experience about vaping. No one can refute the health benefits it has done to you. And no one could actually refuse to listen to your own personal story because it's your own. People like stories. People like the drama of your lives. Let's be honest. Specifically, let's say if you're in an office where like people like like office gossip kind of thing, people like personal stories, and that's how you could share it to other people. It's one day at a time. You could just share how much you love vaping to one person, and then if you do it constantly in the whole 365 days, right now, you could actually let 365 people know that you love vaping.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always like two ways about doing shows and advocating within and outside the vape community. So not just writing your letters to your representatives, but have a meeting with them and also talk to them on a constant basis. Because when you talk to them on a constant basis, you actually build a relationship with them. And it's really big in the vape community because a lot of the people don't realize this, but the more you have a relationship with your representatives, the more you could actually influence them.
Mm-hmm.
And per se, like Jay, you actually talk to your mayor on a constant basis. That's a living proof that relationships in the vape community actually work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one way you could actually, tell your representatives how this is actually a beneficial thing for you.
Yeah. And like you said, don't just do it the one time. Like I know me and Nick Garrity and Angela, we were talking about it. All the people that he was emailing and everything, all the people who were going for governor of the state, he was actually talking to them on a regular basis, and they knew whenever he was calling. They knew him by his first name and his last name and everything. They say, "Oh, hello, Mr. Garrity. Oh, yes, we are still pro vaping and everything." But it's not like he was just doing it once and then he was done with it. Okay, yeah, they said they're good with vaping. I'm done with it because I mean, politicians we know how they are. They'll say one thing and then they'll get in office and they'll do another most times, and they're just saying that so that way they can get the votes and everything. But we got to keep up with it. We can't just let them say it the one time and walk away and be like, okay, yeah, I've already talked to him. He said he's good with it. And then once he gets into the office, be like, oh, hey, that vaping stuff, that's all going out the door. I don't want it no more around here. It's banned from this county, banned from this state. There's so much they could do with it because they have so much power, but we need to make sure we're still trying to influence them and talking to them to make sure that we're getting the right message out there and that it is something that is healthier and it's actually helping people, not something that's actually hurting people like tobacco and everything. And honestly, I wish this is just a big wish, but I wish the U.S. government would do something like New Zealand and start putting taxes on actual tobacco products and cigarettes and stuff like that. So that way we could have more people wanting to transition. Because over there, I mean, I saw it was like up to $20 to $25 a pack. And by next year, the minimum will be about $25 a pack because they're going to a smoke-free they're trying to go to a smoke-free country and everything. So, I mean, it's something that they're moving forward to, and that's something I really wish that the U.S. would embrace and try to move on with, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. But we need more people out there to spread the word. And like you said, not just to vapors, because everyone in the vape community already knows that it works and it is something that is great and it helps and it's super effective. But we need to make sure we're talking to the people out there who know nothing about vaping. Like my mom, for instance. She said, "Oh, well, you don't need to be doing that either. I know you stopped dipping and that's helped you stop dipping, but you don't need to be doing that either. There's still nicotine in it." I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait for the movie to come out. The documentary on You Don't Know Nicotine. I can't wait for that so that way I can show you it and you can watch it because there's going to be actual scientific research in there and interviews with scientists and stuff." So, I mean, for right now, I just try to give her every article possible. And like all my family, they're all not really against vaping.
Yeah.
But they're not really supportive with it. They're just like, "Oh, you know what, you vape, but you just still shouldn't be doing that." Well, I mean, if it's something that's keeping me healthier and keeping me away from something that could possibly potentially kill me and give me cancer and make my life miserable and a living hell, then I'm going to keep doing it because it's something that I love doing and something that I want everyone else to love doing. And
well, think about it. Aaron Bieber doesn't even vape, and he's doing this documentary for a lot of people who's wanting to know more about nicotine and how vaping influences people's lives. And the director and quote unquote also producer of the show, of that movie rather, is a non-smoker or a non-vapor rather. So think about that one impact that it has done to like a non-vapor and then be able to move. So he is primarily per se looking into not just per se an imagination thing where it's what would happen if vaping was legal or what would happen if nicotine replacement therapies like vaping actually is legal, but he's actually looking to form a movement of vapors to actually do something. So that's like one of the big things in this community is you get yourself motivated into talking about this, and you also get other people motivated about talking about this. You don't need to be like a YouTube streamer, by the way, or like a radio host, by the way, or like somewhere you could like on social medias be like a promoter or influencer, but you could also do it on your personal basis where you have like, let's say for example, your mother and your father talking them about vaping, and then maybe you don't know, maybe they have coworkers who's actually curious about it, and that they could tell people that this is actually a really really unhealthier alternative for, after smoking. If you don't want to smoke anymore, this is a healthier alternative.
Yeah, and like you said, word of mouth is one of the biggest ways of communication, especially, social media and the internet and phones and everything, they're all really effective, and that's how the generations are going on now and everything. But word of mouth, like you said, is one of the best ways to communicate, because like you said, you could tell one person and they could be like, oh, well, like I had a guy at work the other day say, oh, well, I heard that those are just vaping's just as bad as smoking regular tobacco. And then I kind of gave him some facts, and he's like, oh, okay, really? Oh, okay. Let me look into it. And I gave him some articles and everything, so that way he could actually read on it. And he's like, oh, okay. And the person who actually told him that, I went up to him and I didn't go over there and start yelling at him, but I was like, hey man, let me talk to you about vaping a little bit, because he's a little bit older and he doesn't really understand vaping and all this. So I tried to help him out as much as possible, and I was showing him what actually vaping does and how it's healthier for you and everything, and how cigarettes are going to eventually get to them. And word of mouth is just the best way, because you tell one person and you never know who they can go tell. All of a sudden, one little thing comes up. Oh, well, you've heard the stuff about vaping? Oh, well, I actually had someone who was talking to me about vaping and said it was way healthier.
Yeah.
And it could start to where people, you could tell one person, they could tell 100 people, and then those 100 people can go tell 100 more people, and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And it's something that we really need to do, is not just on social media, like I'm going to get to here in a minute, but we need to make sure that we are actually doing it word to mouth. And like you said, you don't have to be a big person on YouTube or even on Instagram or anything. Like me, I maybe got 50 subs or something like that. And I just want to be able to go out there and put my word out there, because I didn't want to be the what if guy. What if I didn't do nothing about it? What if I didn't write my representatives? What if I didn't get into this community as much as I have now? Because I didn't want to be that what if guy whenever something gets outlawed or something gets banned. I didn't want to be, oh, well, what if I would have done something? Well, I don't want to be that. I want to be the person to say, I did the most I could. I put as much effort as I could into it, and it still got banned. But I know I did my part.
Yep.
Now, everyone else, I can't speak for everyone else, but I know I'm going to be the person to say, I did my part. I went out there. I did what I could. And I know y'all have too, and almost everyone in this chat has. I know most of them talk to them daily and stuff, but I know most of them have done the same thing.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the next subject I want to get to before we run out of time is I wanted to talk about social media. We talked about social media earlier, talked about how Twitter is a good way to be able to get to most of some of your representatives just on some kind of chats, but we don't need to be using social media as the main way to communicate with your representatives or anyone in the FDA or in the government about vaping. We still need to make sure that we're calling and make sure that we are emailing and stuff like that, and writing letters. But one thing I want to do is talk about social media and make sure we have the right kind of etiquette when we are doing vape stuff, because there's a lot of people out there now who are just doing vape tricks and stuff, they're cool, yeah, but you got a lot of people out there doing really dumb stuff, and it's stuff that's really tearing down. And I actually emailed a couple of them, the people I've seen do stuff like that, where they've been put on higher platforms where it's reached up to like World Star and stuff like that, where it's just really pissed me off.
Yep.
And I've emailed those people, and there's certain people that don't have their emails and their Instagrams and Facebook, stuff like that. I've messaged them. I've got a response back from one of them, and they were pretty much just like, okay, yeah, I understand. We're going to not do videos like that because I see what it could do. Because pretty much what I said is one moment of fame for y'all could tear down years and years of stuff that people and advocates have put their time into. There's so many people out there who have put so many years. I haven't put that much time into advocacy, honestly. Everyone's like, oh, well, yeah, you know so much about it. Yeah, because I try to research as much as possible. But I've only been doing like the YouTube stuff, and I've been talking word to mouth, doing advocacy like that. But like actually trying to go out there and make it something bigger and try to grow off of it to try to make it to where I can spread the word more. I haven't been doing it that long, but there's so many people out there who have been doing it for years, like Grim Green, whenever he first started vaping. That's just one example. 10 years ago, they were already trying to do a ban in California, and he was one of the people to help fight that. But I mean, there's so many people out there who put so many years into this industry and so many years into this community to try to keep it around, to try to make it to where not just us, but the people who are coming next down the line, the 19-year-old or the 17-year-olds who are out there smoking cigarettes, buying cigarettes without anyone checking their ID and everything like that. I just where was I going with this? There's so many ways that you can promote on social media, but the people who are promoting it bad, that's just where it's really getting out of hand here lately. We've seen more and more, and then we've actually seen some on YouTube also. So I mean, it's getting to the point to where it's getting a little out of hand with the with people abusing vaping on social media and pretty much putting the stereotype to what the stereotypical vapor is, blowing big clouds, being obnoxious and everything, to the people who don't
shows that those people don't care. Because for one example, the dude that was on the World Star, Vape Tyler, he has over like 45,000 people following his Instagram. And he put it on his bio that he was in a World Star video. He doesn't care about this industry. He only cares about himself. He's in this for his own personal gain and nothing else. I doubt, in my opinion, I'm not going to say this is true or not, but I doubt he even started vaping because he wanted to quit smoking. I feel like he started it because he saw it's a different way of getting out there on a social platform. So, and he's been out there before doing stupid stuff like that in other different ways. But this whole World Star thing that he was a part of, where him and some other people were going out in public and blowing clouds into people's faces. What the fuck are you thinking? That's what I come down to. What in your mind, in your small little head of yours, is making you think, oh, this is okay. This is something I want to do that will possibly be a funny little output of something. No, that's just down to be a considerate human being. He's been, what we need to do with that is, instead of calling him out on that kind of stuff, we need to go to his sponsors and
thank you
and tell them, look what somebody you're representing is doing for this community. This person right here is doing something that the FDA or any kind of government official can take and use that against us. Something that they're doing can put you out of fucking business, and you're representing this person. What's with that? It pisses me off that people are actually getting away with that bullshit, because there's so many people out there that are fighting for what they're able to do, and they're just taking what other people are doing for granted and be like, oh, I'm going to do some stupid bullshit like this, and completely possibly that video could possibly ruin this industry.
And you have some companies too which are pretty established already, and I won't name any companies or company, but people are actually driven by this so-called social platform, and they don't check the target audiences of these channels. So per se, this company gives out reviews of, or not reviews, but like gives out products to this certain streamer, by the way, and then actually not checking that his or her, his or her target audience are pretty much in the 15 to 18-year-olds. And it's pretty big because back in the time when Social Blade was able to, or you were able to check Social Blade rather for like your target audiences or your age or the age brackets of your audiences, dude, like you could actually check what ages or audiences or what ages of your audiences is, and companies just like to give a lot of products to people who has those kinds of audiences, which doesn't make sense. Like, you're already an established company, and then you do a live show every now and then in Instagram stating that, this is like for fun, and somebody comments that, why won't you do a video about advocacy? Because it's not fun. I mean, dude, you earn out of this community, you earn out of this industry. The least you can do is pull up a video, or not even just a video, like pull up a picture or photo in your social media, and then check out actually what you could post in regards to recent vape news or recent advocacy where people could participate, and you actually have a big following. So it's the real least that you could do for this community, you know?
Yeah, and hell, you don't even have to really put. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to make it the easiest for you, you don't even have to put any damn time into it. You could you could go on there and you could repost someone's post about advocacy stuff.
Yeah.
It's that easy. Just, I mean, you're on such a high platform, and I mean, if it is something that helped the kid quit smoking, then I mean, it's something that you owe your life to pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't like Corey said, I don't think he honestly it helped him quit smoking. I think he did just because it's something that he thought was cool and it'd be a way for him to grow and become famous and stuff. But I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's just dumb to not do something to help out the community whenever, even if it is just something that's helping you grow and helping you become famous or Instagram famous or whatever, and you're getting all these sponsors. It's just dumb not to still do something to help out the community. It doesn't matter if even if you didn't stop smoking, do this. I mean, like I watched a video on a guy who does tricks, and he said he never smoked a day in his life, but he said he wanted to learn how to do all these tricks. So he was vaping, and then he eventually went to 3 milligram nicotine or something like that. And he actually went to 0 milligram nicotine to see if it would change anything, and see if his body had any withdrawals or anything from it. But I mean, it's just. And I mean, he posts so much advocacy stuff because kind of like Aaron Biebert out there, it's people who never smoked who see the health benefits from vaping and stuff like that. But I mean, vaping is not for people out there who does not smoke, and nicotine is an addictive substance. But I mean, there's no need for someone who doesn't smoke to go out there and say, "Oh, I want to vape. It looks cool. I want to blow big clouds." There's no need for that.
No.
And like me, honestly, I would never do anything to get a subscriber that is a child or I would never do anything dumb to get it just for a subscriber or anything. I mean, that's just stupid in my opinion. I mean, I've had my cousin, we were on vacation and he's like, "Oh, you have a YouTube, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, and I mean, I think he's 11 or something like that. He said, "Oh, okay, well, I'm going to subscribe to you. What's your name?" I was like, "You don't need to subscribe to me. There's nothing on my channel that you need to be seeing."
No.
And he said, "Well, why not?" I said, "Well, it's about vaping." And he's like, "Oh, I know, but I don't vape." He's like, "I'm just doing it just so you get another subscriber." I don't need that. I don't need another subscriber just to have a kid on there. No. And I mean, you never know. He might see a video and then he might say, "Oh, hey, my cousin, he does vaping stuff. You go follow." No, I don't need that. There's no need to be putting yourself out there to be platforming to anyone and everyone. You should be platforming to the people that you are trying to talk to.
And props to you for that.
Thank you. But I mean, like I said, you see people who are doing stuff like that, call them out. I'm not saying you have to make a video and put their name out there, but that is the most effective way most times. But call them out. Call them out.
The best way to do that is not to call them out, but to call out their sponsors. Because the one way to stop somebody from doing what they're doing is to do something to the people who are giving them money, who've given them their income.
Yeah.
That will be the real slap in the face for them, which this Vape Tyler dude, I don't think he needs a slap in the face. It's more like a brick to the face he needs because apparently he doesn't understand because he's been caught up in this bullshit before. I don't understand it. I don't know what's going through his damn head that he thinks is okay, but he needs a clear reality check of what this industry actually is. He's not in it for anybody else. He's in it for himself.
Yeah. And honestly,
this industry doesn't need that. He can go away for all of my concern. He could just be gone, and I would have no problem with it.
Yeah. I mean, like Corey said, this is a community. This is a family. Vaping, like everyone in vaping is a family. Everyone is open to everyone with their open arms. Everyone will help out anyone with a problem. I mean, I've seen just on the last couple of days, someone going through some real tough stuff and people trying to help them out. I reached out to help them out. There's a bunch of people out there trying to help people out. And it's not the people who are selfish and doing this just for fame. I mean, we don't need anyone like that in the community. And honestly, no one in the community actually accepts those people for those reasons. Because if you're not going to do something to try to help out with what we believe in and what has helped us get off of cigarettes and get off of tobacco, like I smoked for maybe a year, and but I was a really big dipper. I used to dip like 2-3 cans a day. So I, like every time I'd get paid, I'd go buy 3 logs a week, something like that. And that's 15 cans in a week. So I mean, I would go through that like nothing. And everyone's like, oh, vaping won't really help you with that. I mean, there's other ways to help. I'm like, well, I'm gonna try it. And then honestly, it's the only thing that I've honestly tried, and it's helped me. I haven't been through all the other NRT products like a whole bunch of other people have, and I've heard all the crazy stuff that's happened to them. And I'm thankful I didn't have to go through that, and I went straight to the source and straight to the one I wanted to do. But I mean, this is something that we need to make sure we keep alive, and we need to make sure we're not having people out there having the image of vaping by blowing clouds in people's faces and invading their personal space in one, two, putting something by their face that they don't want and blowing clouds. I mean, that's just dumb. You're just putting the stereotypical thing that the government sees right there. And like Corey said, they could use that in the court whenever they are going in there to ban all this. They can use that right there and say, hey, well, look at this video right here. This is exactly what we're talking about. And I mean, it's just ignorant people like that are really going to tear down the community, and we don't need that.
Yep.
Couldn't have said better myself.
But I mean, let's see what else. We're running up on almost an hour and a half. Is there anything out there that y'all want to say to the people in the chat and say to the people in the world? I mean, there's so much to say with all these laws going on, and I'm pretty sure y'all have already said it, like get active and everything. But is there anything else out there that's been on y'all's mind that y'all want to say about vaping? Maybe how it's helped y'all, or maybe a way that something that we can do to try to help out the community.
I'm going to say this because Sean said it earlier. It's fine being an advocate, but this industry needs more people that are activists.
Get motivated.
I mean, this industry needs activism, not advocism. That's what I feel like people need to be. You need a positive standpoint on. You need a more positive outlook on advocacy. You need to be not looking at it all for all the negative that it is. You need to be positive about it. Don't stop the fight. Keep on fighting, because there will be a positive outcome in the end eventually.
Yeah, and everyone like this Scott Gottlieb thing. Just to elaborate on that a little bit, or my thoughts on that. The Scott Gottlieb thing and everything, when he resigned out of office and everything, everyone's like, oh yeah, this is a win, this is a win. Yeah, go ahead and celebrate for a day, an hour, whatever it is, that's fine. I was honestly okay with it. I was like, you know what, everyone's saying don't celebrate, go celebrate for a day, have a beer, say we did this, we helped out, we helped get him out of office. He eventually said, you know what, I'm done with this. But the fight's not over. That's one person. The government is huge, the FDA is huge. It's state to state, city to city, county to county, small town like mine to another small town. There's so much going on. There's so many laws. I mean, if everyone thought that Scott Gottlieb leaving was the end of it, there's been so many more reports since then. I can't even count how many there's been on Vape News. I think there's been at least 30, 40, 50. There's been a bunch, and then a bunch of laws that are coming into effect. And the thing is, it's not the laws that are coming into effect. It's the deadlines that we have to meet before they come into effect. Like I know Texas is September 1st, and that's whenever they're going to be doing the statewide tobacco 21, and they're going to be doing all these other laws that they are putting in, the no vaping in public places. So, I mean, like you said, be active. Don't advocate. Being an advocate is good, but be active. Get motivated. Get out there. If you aren't motivated and fired up about vaping, and it's something that you love doing, it's something that's helped you and saved your life and helped do all this other stuff for you, then I don't know what to tell you. You need to be motivated. I mean, to me, I see it as whenever I used to play in high school, we used to play basketball. I see it as a game. I see it as, okay, this is the Friday game against the crosstown rivals. This is the way I see it. It gives me goosebumps. It makes me get motivated, and I get fired up about it because it's something that has helped me and something that I don't want. Later on down the road, my daughter's 5 right now. Later on down the road, if she starts smoking cigarettes, I want her to have the alternatives out there. I don't want her to be like, okay, well, I can only get Chantix gums and these new lozengers that they're coming out with. I don't want that shit. I want it to be, I have options out there. I have options that actually work. And it's not just for people in your family. It's for people out there in the world that have not experienced it yet. There could be a 55-year-old, like a guy I helped at work, 55 years old, smoked for over 30 years, and he's from a different country. Came over here, he smoked for another 20 years or something like that after he's been in America. And then I talked to him about vaping, and he said, you know what, that does sound good. My doctor told me I need to quit smoking anyway. Let me try it.
Yep.
Vape for 3-4 months, done with everything. It's the people that are still yet to come into this and still yet to open their eyes up to vaping that we really need to be doing this for, not just for ourselves. Honestly, if vaping went away today, I know I still have stuff. I have stuff I can do. I know I still have stuff I can vape on, but it's the people out there who have not experienced it yet and who are still dying over vape or dying over cigarettes and tobacco and stuff like that. I mean, there's 400,000 people dying every year. That's 120,000 people, or no, 1,200 people every day dying from a tobacco-related cause. We need to make sure we're getting motivated and getting out there, people. Frank, what do you have to say?
Basically, my last words is, this is the reason why I vape. It's like, you have Texas Cloud Town, who's really like a really big advocate and constantly talk to his mayor about vaping. You got Poonsauce, who's always got news and advocacy in him, and telling people news and vaping with the homies, and as well as his Instagram. You got like people like Grim Green, always doing his 510 report, which is always really awesome. And not just that, like you have NorCal Sick Boy and Jennifer Berger Coleman, Eric Vinyl and Vapor. Dude, this is the reason why I vape. It's you have a community that stands into what they believe in and what they enjoy in, which is vaping. And that's what I exactly love is you love the vapors, you love your fellow vapors, and you also love the community. That's why you want to see it stand. So my only last words is, why do you vape?
Thank you. I just want to say it once. What's the news, Poonsauce?
Oh, you'll have to find out on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Find out on Monday.
Speaking about that, if y'all have any social medias, any of y'all's Instagram, YouTube accounts that y'all want to go ahead and throw in there, I've already threw, I think, all the links in there. So look in the links in the chat. Go ahead and click on those. Go follow these guys. Go subscribe to them. But if there's anything out there that y'all want to promote, go ahead and do it. I'm fine with that. Because, Mondays, I look forward to doing my cloud check for vaping with the homies. Fridays, I look forward to the green room. The Three Amigos, vaping with the homies, the green room, the vape stew. There's so many shows out there. Vaping with Ken has a bunch of shows, man. I just love watching all the shows. I look forward to them when I get off work. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and let's get what I need to get done because I need to get to these shows. I want to watch them. If there's anything out there y'all want to promote, go ahead and go for it, man.
Well, Frank, why don't you go?
Okay, I'll go. So basically, I'm Frank Wolf. You know me. Basically, I'm Mr. Wolf Bite podcast on Vape Radio, always on Saturdays. That's 12 noon Central, and as well as Sundays, 9 p.m. Central, with replays on soundcloud.com/wolf_bite. We also have a new Facebook page, which is like facebook.com and then /Frank and Clown. Facebook's kind of like weird. It doesn't allow us to put the URL as Wolfbite Podcast. But yeah, that's one. And we're also running, by the way, a giveaway for a Gear RTA, 2 sets of clown coils, and as well as 2 of your choices of juice from clownvapes.com. So if you want to get into that, just go into facebook.com/Frank and Clown, comment down below, and that's your entry. And we also have Twitter, which is Wolfbite Podcast, which you could follow. So yeah, that's me.
Don't sleep on those giveaways, guys. Those clown coils.
Those clown coils are really good. Let's be honest, like the clown coils are really good. Mint meat's really good, and I have Tyson's blend, which is really good. So yeah, it's just like our small way to give back to the community that supported us. So yeah, Poonsauce. What's in the news?
Well, I'm not doing that tonight. That's going to be on Monday on This week it's going to be on Frame Janklin Vapors channel. So every Monday, 7 Central, 8 Pacific, and then 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, I think it is. Yeah. And then 6 Mountain Time. Me and a bunch of other guys just do a show. You guys have already know about it because most of the viewers here are viewers on that stream as well. And if you want to check me out on Instagram, it's instagram.com/poonsauce_McNasty. I post some shenanigans. I hand checks, cloud checks, all that fun, crazy stuff, advocacy stuff. Yeah, give me a follow. Whatever you want to do, go right ahead.
Also, give him a follow for his second accounts. It's instagram.com/pornstashmcpowerbottom. There's a giveaway running for a Stratum mech mod, so go follow that.
A Stratum, whoa, jeez, that's fancy stuff right there.
All right, guys, so we're going to close this out, and I want to thank everyone in the chat, and I want to thank everyone in the community. I want to thank all y'all for what y'all have done for me. I want to thank everyone out there who has opened their arms and who have helped me with any of my needs, any of my questions and everything. Frank helped me out get this set up. I'm not very tech worthy. I suck with computers, but hey, I got good people, good friends who help me out and stuff like that. So I just want to thank everyone out there, and just make sure, like I said, let's get motivated, let's get active, let's get off our asses, and let's get out there and let's do something. But that's it for the Weekend Wisdom Vape vlog. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I hope y'all stay tuned for some more special guests. We'll see y'all later.
And remember, vape on, friends.
Keep it cloudy, guys. See y'all.
Vape on, friends.